Starting on June 15, running your AI agent inside your IDE, your code editor like Cursor, VS Code will get way more expensive. So everyone right now is rushing to one trick to try to dodge that. However, you gotta know that that trick leans on a single line in Anthropic's pricing rules. And they have already killed two tricks just like it this year. My name is Daniel Jindu and I used to run AI info business that questions my moral every single day, and eventually I had to quit. Now I'm just giving away everything I know about AI for completely free. There's no gatekeeping. You can join my free community and newsletter to get the value you want, and just consider commenting down below because that's where I get all my inspiration from, and I think it's very fun to watch. Now here is where you probably already are. You are not running one agent anymore, right? I'm sure you are at that point right now. You've got one building a feature, another one chasing a bug, maybe a third one running your tasks, researching, etc. All that the same time, right? That is just normal. That became the norm of how the AI agent should work. And the reason you keep them inside a code editor instead of a bare terminal is very simple. Because when an agent rewrites your code, you want to see what it actually touched. The lines that change and the files they live in, a single terminal line cannot really show you that, right? So the move everyone landed on is making sense. You open an editor, run your agents inside it. The problem is which editor then? Cursor and another popular one called Antigravity they are both built on the same heavy base, where the editor is basically dragging a whole web browser around with it everywhere it goes. So one agent, which you will do fine, but the second you stack a few agent sessions, people have reported these editors ballooning past a gig of memory. If you check your activity monitor, you'll know what I mean by that, and slow as hell. So the thing you open to watch your code starts fighting you the deeper you go when you start running a multi-session on that. Now, here's the part I think most people is getting wrong. So you would expect that the thing that finally changed how these editors work to be more some more clever new piece of tech, right? It's actually not. It was just one line on a pricing page. So let me show you what actually happened here, because once you see it, you cannot really turn a blind eye to it. As you know, I like analogy. It helps me learn faster, so I'm going to use that today as well. Why don't we think of it like a tall road where you pay the toll. You're trying to get to one place, which is run your AI agent. It turns out there are two roads that get you there. The first road is you driving the car by yourself in agent terms, which means that is you opening a terminal and typing the command to start the agent by hand. The second road is you sending an automated freight truck instead, where a program starts the agent for you and run it in the background. Same destination, two very different roads. Here is what changes starting on June 15. Anthropic is putting a toll booth on the freight truck road. What that means is if your agent usage goes through their automated path, the thing they call the Agent SDK, it stops drawing from your normal subscription. It moves to a separate pot of credits that gets charged at full API price, which you never wanted if you're just running it off of a subscription. Once that pot runs dry, it'll stop. So Pro plan will get $20 worth of credits in that pot, and Max get 100, and the 20x Max will get 200. And whatever you do not use does not roll over to next month. The you driving road stays free. Typing the command yourself in the terminal, plain old interactive use, can still run inside the subscription you already paid for, same as today. I hope that makes sense. So same agent, same work, but the road you take decides the bill at the end. And you might be wondering why Anthropic is even doing this. It is not random. I'm pretty sure we're all being subsidized right now. So what that means is the freight truck road let people do something kind of really wild, right? A $200 plan could quietly pull over $1,000 worth of usage in a single month from the Anthropic's perspective, because an automated agent never gets tired, where it just keeps firing off calls around the clock. People reported exactly that. So Anthropic looked at the math and found that it just didn't make sense at all and put a meter on the trucks, right? So now back to the editor problem, because this is where it all comes together. That light editor I've been dancing around lately is called Zed. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. It is the team that built Atom coming back and rewriting an editor from scratch without that heavy web browser base, so it stays very light even when you stack sessions. I'm assuming a chunk of you already know Zed for being very, very fast. The low latency, that part is not new at all. What is new is a feature they just shipped a week ago called Terminal Threads. And it's a very simple idea. Inside Zed's agent panel, you hit the plus button, you pick terminal, and you get a real terminal sitting right there inside your sidebar next to everything else. Then you just type Claude or Codex, Connect Antigravity, whatever that your favorite one is, and the agent will start there. And here's the thing that really is important for me for the toll road is running Claude that way is you driving the car yourself. What that means is in plain interactive use. So which means it stays on your subscription, thankfully, even after June 15. So where the automated path does not. So Team Zed said it plainly themselves after June 15. This is the only way left to keep using Claude Code inside Zed on your existing subscription. And because it is just a terminal, nothing gets stripped out. Where your skills and your hooks and the MCP server you set up in your Claude folder all come along untouched because Zed is just not sitting in the middle filtering anything. You're just running the tool. On top of that, you can stack a few of these threads at once, say for example Claude in one, Codex another, and Gemini for the third, and watch them side by side in one light editor, right? And that's the whole thing that people were trying to do with the heavy editors, except now it does not melt your laptop. It's not that memory intensive now. All right, I know I framed this video as if like I'm sponsoring Zed, but I'm not. And if there's one thing that I want you to take away from today's video, because it is bigger than Zed, this trick is not the tool, it's the road. So before you trust any setup like this, you only have to do ask one question. Who's driving? If you're the one typing the command and hitting go, you're driving the car yourself. And that stays on the cheap road. If the tool fires the agent off for you in the background, you just sent the freight truck. And that is the meter that Anthropic trying to plug in. That one question sorts out every tool out there, even the ones that drop after this video. So on the you driving side, you've got a few front doors, and honestly, they are all free. So price is not the thing to wait here. What you're really waiting is your machine and whether you want your code sitting right there with you. Zed, it's just one I've been showing you. I've been trying to dancing around with lately because it's light and fast, where your code lives right next to the terminal and it runs native on Mac, Windows, and Linux. So it's the easy pick almost anywhere, I think. If you're on a Mac and you just want a terminal built exactly for this, I would look at cmux, cmux, and where the sidebar tells you which agent needs you, so you're not clicking through every pane. And tmux is the bare bones one that's been around almost 20 years, where on Mac and Linux is probably already on your machine. And you can even leave an agent running on rented server after you shut your laptop. Pretty straightforward. However, you gotta know that the cmux is Mac OS only at the moment. So if you're on Windows, I would just grab Zed because it runs native there now. And where tmux on Windows needs a Linux setup and turns it into a more of a power user route, and steer clear of anything that dispatches agents for you on a schedule or in the background, because that is you sending the freight truck, and that is the lane with the toll booth. Now there's a trade-off, which is that this cheap road only stays cheap as long as the Anthropic agrees that typing Claude in a terminal, whether that is Zed, cmux, or just plain terminal, counts as you driving the car. And that is not a law of physics, that is definition they control. Remember the start where I said they already killed 2 tricks like this just this year. It's not even June, guys. Earlier in this year, they blocked outside tools from logging in with your subscription at all. And they even tested pulling Claude Code out of the cheapest plan. So the line between you driving and freight truck has already moved twice. A terminal tucked inside another app sits right on that line. If they ever decide that counts as the automated path, this gets fried. This gets metered too. I'm not telling you that to scare you off it or something like that. Just you can use it. It works great today. I'm telling you so you're not shocked if the rule moves again, because that's the line they control. We cannot do anything about it. And one more thing is the other connection method Zed has. The one they call ACP is not bad. So that one plugs an agent deeper into Zed's editing and review tool. It just rides the expensive road right now. So it's not one or the other. They each do a different job. So why don't we step back with me for a second here, because this is the part I actually care more about. The thing that reshaped your code editor, your IDE this month, was not a breakthrough. There's no new model, no genius feature. It was just one line in a billing document. I mean, they shipped Opus 4.8, but that's a whole different story. The people who saw it coming were not reading the changelog. They were just reading the invoice. So that is the habit I want to leave you with. Watch your invoice, watch your billing, not just the changelog, because it can really surprise you sometimes. And here's what that habit buys you. If Anthropic keeps tightening that their screws, you're not trapped because you've got rows out, different rows. OpenAI is openly trying to pull you over in right this minute. The same day this change dropped, they offer businesses 2 free months of Codex to switch, and they ship the one-click tool that moves your prompts and your skills and your MCP setup straight over to them, and you do not even have to leave the setup we just talked about because Codex runs in those same terminal threads. But honestly, my take on the real move is the Anthropic's road to OpenAI's road is still driving on somebody else's road, where they can build a tall boat whenever they feel like it to. The only road nobody can ever charge you for is the one that you own. That is local models, as you know, that's all my channel is about. Running your own machine where there's no boost to build because you're not on their highway at all, except the contingency is, the trade-off would be that you're gonna have to pay a lot of money to build that road. That's the road I would start looking into right now. The local models are getting better and better, so nothing to worry about. So hopefully if that last part that I just mentioned was kind of resonated with you, owning your own road. I already walked through how to set up local AI on your own machine, start to finish, and that is exactly where I would send you next. You can go into my playlist and just look into it. There are some valuable tutorials out there you can reference from. Anyway, that is for today. If you want to see more, obviously comment down below to what you want to see next for the next video. Why don't you tell me what I should cover, because that's how our channel runs. You ask, I build, we all learn. See you in the next video.